Hey guys, up to RDiK, old school duelist, everyone call me. I'm coming at you with a deck profile of a deck that's I love playing oh so much. I love this deck. Oh. With a passion, and I'm so happy it's meta right now. I hope it stays at least relevant after circuit break and spirals and everything like that, because this video will go up just before spirals come out, well, like officially are playable and legal. So yeah, we're gonna jump into this, and before I jump into this, I love the mouse. I'm trying to got just everything. Okay, now we're all good to go. So before I jump into this video, I'm trying something new, and let me know how you guys try it. I'm trying a new setup and using a separate camera, separate from the audio. Well, maybe I've been doing that, but it's recorded at the same time. I don't have to sync up or anything like that. But, you know, I'm trying something new where I just have better quality of you looking at the cards. And first cards, because now we're going to jump into this. First card you want to play is Performapals. I only play 2 different Performapal monsters, but a total of 5 cards. So, I'm playing 3 Skull Combat. That's just kind of standard. It searches almost any Pendulum monster in the deck except for one Pendulum monster. Other than that, it searches out the deck. Like, it searches out your pieces that you need, and it's just amazing. And for the last Performapal monster I play 2 Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. This card's awesome. It goes with the fact that you can pendulum summon this guy, blow up your pendulum magicians, go off with their effects, and search a Performapal. So that's pretty awesome, and that's why I love this. So that's it for the Performapal engine. Move on to the point of the deck, and that is the magicians. I'm messing everything up. Okay, so you play 3 Wisdom Eye Magician. Wisdom Eye Magician is amazing. It's just kind of like your 1 card scale in a way, because you can play this card, have another magician in there, and just set up your scale with that. Because it's a pendulum effect, you don't use its monster effect, so I'm not even going to attempt to say it. But its pendulum effect is, if you have another magician or Performapal in the pendulum zone, you can blow up this card and set 1 magician pendulum monster straight to the pendulum zone, and that's just amazing. Literally, it searches everything. I'm not doing that. Moving on. Next card you want to play is 3 Harmonizing Magician. Card's awesome. It's a tuner. Its pendulum effect is all monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for every face-up magician pendulum monster in the extra deck with a different name, and that's pretty cool. That can actually help push for OTK. But its real point of the reason it's in the deck is its monster effect. This card can't be special summoned from the extra deck. Just in general, just can't be summoned from the extra deck, or special summoned from the extra deck. But when it is pendulum summoned, it gains the effect of, it gets to special summon 1 magician pendulum monster from the deck and defense position, and its effect is negated, which isn't too bad. But when that monster leaves the field, then it is banished instead. So you use that monster for an overlay, since overlays aren't considered, or overlay pieces aren't considered on the field. That's the big point of this, and also it cannot be used for fusion, synchro, or exercise summons unless the other monster is a magician pendulum monster. Next card, you want to play a Double Iris Magician, which is kind of like your big search piece of the deck. Its effect is its pendulum effect is you can target 1 spellcaster monster you control. Has to be a dark spellcaster. You control. Fuck, I forget. Yeah, you target it, cannot be destroyed, or apply this effect and then destroy it. It can be used once. Well, this card's effect can only be used once. Double any battle damage that monster would inflict, and then destroy it. So basically, yeah. And then its monster effect is, if this is, it's always treated as a Pendulum Dragon card. So, you know, your Duelist Alliance and stuff like that, stuff that can search out Pendulum cards, is just awesome. But when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, which its own card effect can destroy it, so that's awesome. You can search 1 Pendulum Graph card from the deck. Yeah, so that's awesome, because then you could just search out your spells or traps that are the main spell a trap card in the deck. And the next card you want to play is your Purple Poison Magician. It's always considered a fusion dragon card, which is awesome. But its pendulum effect is you can target one dark spellcaster type monster you control, and during damage or before damage calculation, it can gain 1200 attack. So yeah, and its monster effect is if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to destroy one card. You target one card on the field and destroy it. So that's pretty awesome. Its own effect gives it 1200, plus it'll blow something up, which is just amazing. The next card you want to play is 2 Black Fang Magician. I've seen some people play this at 3. I personally don't like it at 3. I like it at 2. And I don't like it at 1 because I don't see it enough, because its monster effect is pretty fucking cool. Once destroyed by battle or card effect, you target one spellcaster monster. One dark spellcaster monster in the graveyard, and special summon it, which is pretty fucking cool. So you can summon your any monster that's in the graveyard. So any pieces that were used for Pendulum or used for XYZ materials, you can summon XYZ Magician, which is Time Star Magician. And its Pendulum effect is you can target one face-up card or one face-up monster your opponent controls and half its attack. So that's pretty fucking awesome. So yeah, and then I play one White Wing Magician. It's Black Fang is always considered an XYZ dragon card. White Fang is always considered a synchro dragon card. Once a turn, you can activate when an activation of a card or effect resolves that targets a dark spellcaster type monster. You can destroy this card, negate, and destroy that card. Or negate it. It doesn't destroy it, but it just negates the effect, and you destroy her afterwards. And then its monster effect is if this card is used for a synchro. For a synchro summon, banish it. So it is a tuner, it is a level 4 tuner, and that's pretty cool, but it's a wind type. Most of the time, this is either a scale 1, or I use it as an XYZ material, just to get it engraved, because I'll explain that in a minute. And then I play one Oath Magician, or Oath Dragon Magician. It's awesome. If there's another Magician in the Pendulum Zone, you can add a Magician or Odd Eyes card from the extra deck that's face up back to the hand. So this can give back your Harmonizing Magician, your Wisdom Eye Magicians, or any other magicians you need in your hand. Played at 1 just because it's really inconsistent, like when it comes to the magicians and everything like that. So yeah, that's it for the magicians in the deck, or in the main deck. Now moving on to the last Pendulum monster I play in the deck. One Astrograph Sorcerer, which is awesome. I don't really use it. I'd never use it as a scale unless it's absolutely necessary, like say a brick or something like that, or I just have a very difficult hand and this is the only Pendulum monster, then I would put it in the Pendulum Zone, but I never put it in the Pendulum Zone. It's monster effect, but you can see it's pretty fucking wordy. I'll just sum it up for you. When a card if a card or cards you control is destroyed, then you can special summon this card from your hand, and if it is sent to the graveyard, then you get to add a monster with the same name. So basically, it searches out any of the destruction cards, destruction magicians, when their effects go off and add to hand. And then also, while this card's in your hand or graveyard, or hand. Yeah, while this card's on the field, you can special summon your Z-Arc, or your Arc, or your Zark, whatever you want to call it. If you have, and the reason why I specified these guys, is because to summon Z-Arc, you need to fusion summon with a Pendulum Fusion, XYZ, and Synchro Dragon. These cards all consider that, so this 5-card combo legit just summons a big nuke your opponent's field and just swing for game, which is awesome. I fucking enjoy that so much. So yeah, that's just the cool part. I've yet to summon Zark with his effect, but it's there, so why the hell not? And for the last monsters of the deck, the non-Pendulum monsters, I play 2 Mist Valley Apex Avian. Some people are, very torn between running this card. This is a very good disruption card, because whenever a card effect activates, you can just send this back to hand and negate it. So that's pretty awesome. And it's a level 7, so it summons really, really well in the deck. And then I play 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits. These would be Ash Blossoms, but I just don't have any, so I just play 2, which is amazing. I love it. It also is a level 3 tuner, and I can explain that later. Moving on to the spells, and then the first spell that I'm playing in the deck is I play 3 Duelist Lines. This card searches literally all your pieces. Searches your Pendulum Graph, spell and trap cards that you play in the deck. It searches out Double Iris, it searches out the Pendulum Sorcerer, searches out Pendulum Call, just any Pendulum cards. Only thing you need is 1 Pendulum monster, or 1 Pendulum card in the zone, which is pretty awesome, and I'm pretty happy about. Next card is Triple Wavering Eyes. This card is, it's good and it's bad. Like, okay, so here's my argument between, or on why this card is good and bad. It's good because yes, it does the destruction effects of, you know, your 2 cards in the extra deck zone, but it can also be pretty cloggy because if you need the search but you need your stuff on field to Pendulum Summon before you search, then that's where it can get pretty difficult. I mean, this does search out a Pendulum monster from the main deck. It just adds any. As long as you blow up 2 or more, just search out a Pendulum monster from your main deck, which is pretty cool, which is awesome. So you can search out literally any Pendulum cards you want. But what is also bad about it is in the mirror match, this card can become very fucking dead if you go second, because all it takes is saying, okay, I activate this, and then like if your opponent has one, they chain, they get searches, you don't get jack fucking squat shit, and they max out on it if they went first. So that's pretty fucking shitty. And that's my argument between it, because, you know, it's really bad, it's good / bad in the mirror matchup, and it's can become a dead card in your hand. So, depending on your hand. So, that's just where I'm like, well, this card is good to play, but also can be, or can cause a brick. Time Star Pendulum Graph. Or Star Pendulum Graph, which is fucking awesome, and I love this card so much. This card, whenever whenever a Pendulum monster card leaves the field or the Pendulum zone, that just goes off and you get to search a Magician Pendulum card, which is awesome. Or Pendulum monster, my bad. A Magician Pendulum monster, which is fucking amazing. This card just goes so well and just causes so much searching. Plus, your opponent cannot target spellcaster type monsters with spell cards. So that's pretty cool. And widespread destruction, so RDiK and stuff like that, that does, like, you know, stop it, and things like that. And then I also play 2 Pot of Desires, just because Pot of Desires is pretty fucking good. You play like triple of damn near every Magician card, so the likelihood of doing it, it is possible. I'm not gonna, like, you know, sugarcoat it and be like, oh, it's not possible, but it is possible, and it can fuck you up. I've had it happen to me. So, but it's still a good card. It does give you the +2. In the past, I don't like Pot of Desires, but you kind of just need to max out on your searching, so, and your draw power and everything like that. So getting this card is playing this card is very helpful. And the last spell card I play is 1 Pendulum Call. I only play 1 because it does kind of disrupt with the Magician, or the Magician engine, which is legit just kind of like destruction everything to do your mass searches. So this is pretty cool. It's good for that aspect, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, and then also and then also with Wavering Eyes, it does kind of like clog with that as well. So that's really fucking annoying. And then yeah, the good part about this though is if it is a mirror match, you can Pendulum Call, and your opponent's not gonna get the Wavering Eyes. Moving on to the last 2 cards of the deck is Time Pendulum Graph, which is fucking just the best disruption. I play 2, just because everyone used to play 1, but I like it better at 2. Just because your opponent's gonna want to get rid of this in some way possible. It prevents your opponent from targeting spellcaster type monsters with trap cards and their effects. So, what is it? Fucking True Draco, they can't pop your spellcasters monsters, which is awesome. But the reason why this card is such a disruption, just awesome card is with Pendulum Call, it can become even more nasty because you target a Pendulum monster or you know, a Magician Pendulum card in the zone or in the field. Destroy this and destroy a card your opponent controls. You have to target both. And then if 2 cards are not sent, then you get to send 1 card. It does not target, which is even better. So that's just fucking amazing because you do this. If you Pendulum Call, target a Pendulum Zone as your Pendulum monster or your Pendulum card, and then opponent's monster, it'll destroy that card that you targeted. That's your opponent's, and then you can just send a card. And then same thing with Time Star Magician, it'll help with that as well. Moving on to the extra deck, because that is it for the monster. It is a 40 card deck. Moving on to the rest of the extra deck and the side deck. We're going to do extra deck first. I play 2 Time Star Magician. I wouldn't play 3. Sometimes there's only very seldom moments I wish I had 3, but I don't, so, you know, Time Star Magician is at 2. Plus there's other stuff you can do. This card's effect, you can detach 1. It has to be 2 level 4 Magician Pendulum monsters. And then its effect, you can detach 1, add a Dark Spellcaster type monster from your deck to hand. And whenever a Pendulum Magician card would leave the field, or no, it's just a Pendulum monster in general. If a Pendulum monster would leave the field, let it be the zone or the monster zone, or the Pendulum Zone or a Monster Zone, you can just send a Pendulum Magician or a Spellcaster type monster from deck to graveyard, which is pretty awesome, which can help set up Zark. Next card I play is Performage Trapeze Magician, which is awesome because Trick Stars, this is your fucking out to Trick Stars, or effect damage in general, or damage in general. As long as this card's on the field, you don't take any damage that's equal to its attack or less. And Trick Stars, they just do like 2,000 damage here and there, and it's like very small increments, so this is your answer to that. Plus it also OTK because detach and monster can deal 2 attacks. Abyss Dweller, it's fucking amazing for true Dracos, you know, no graveyard effects. Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer, 2 list level 4s, and just compulse, or just spin a card, or just target 1 face-up card and change its position for detaching 1. Tornado Dragon, because you just want to, you know, touch their stuff or their spells and traps and say bye. 1 Supreme King Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. Basically, this card is anime XYZ Rebellion Dragon. So that's pretty fucking cool. That sums it up. If you don't know the anime, detach 1, and you know it gains attack and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, Raigeki, it's a fucking Raigeki with legs, so that just literally on its summon, yeah, just summon it. And the reason why, it's an 8, never mind, so, never mind, I don't have to explain anything, it's a fucking 8, so anyways. 1 Biel's Dragon, the Diabolic Dragons, so this literally is just kind of like your answer for True Kings as well, not True Kings, True Dracos, because it can't get popped. It has to be banished. And then 1 Psyframe Lord Omega. So literally, all it is just kind of like, I'm gonna touch your stuff and say bye. 1 Enlightenment Paladin. You know when it's summoned, if it's summoned with a Pendulum or a Magician that was Pendulum summoned, you get to add a spell card back to hand. So that's pretty fucking cool. From graveyard back to hand. That's really it. You can use that to just do broken shenanigans. 1 Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. That's, you know, pretty self-explanatory. You know, it bounces and everything like that. 1 Proxy Dragon, because, you know, I have the cards in there. Very rarely do I actually summon it, but it's in there, because why not? Deco Talker, again, another card that I very rarely summon, just because it's a Link 3, until we probably get a Dark, but there is Linklebell, which is a card I'm really excited for to come out. I don't think it comes out in, I'm almost positive it doesn't come out in Circuit Break, but Linklebell is pretty fucking awesome because it's a Link monster, Link 2, that can only be summoned if you have more extra deck monsters than your opponent does, and it's 2, and it points out it's, you know, these 2, so that just would be a lot simpler than Deco Talker. And the last card of the extra deck is Supreme King Zark, or Zark, whatever you call him. Yeah, that's a card, and it'll fuck you up. that's literally about it. It's this card will fucking if I ever do summon this card out, I'm literally just going to shut up my opponent. I've yet to summon it out since the new format, or since new magician plays, and since like the master ruling. But this card just fucks my opponent up, just hardcore. Hey guys, look, it's me. It's my face. I just wanted to put a quick video out there saying I fucked up the video somehow. Camera stopped recording, so side deck. I'm just gonna skip the side deck, and thank you guys for watching and or listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that bell icon, because join the notification wad, and you can see notification squad, and you can see exactly when I upload every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You'll get that notification. But thank you guys, and have a wonderful, beautiful night, day, thing, or whatever.